What's up guys, it's Tyler with Royalpowdercoats Powder Coating. Today we're going to be talking about the new Fluidized Hopper kits. These, if you're not familiar with the Fluidizing Hoppers, what these do is these allow a true fluidized bed, which will keep your powder nice and fluffy. It'll keep air coming through it. That way it stays evenly fluidized, it doesn't clump up. You get a really consistent cloud out of your powder coat system. It also helps keep the metallics blended very well. That way they'll lay a lot smoother on whatever you're spraying. You won't get so much of the heavy metallic in one spot and not the other, since it is constantly fluidizing inside this hopper. So we'll go over everything that is included in this kit. Basically, you're going to get the Fluidized Hopper regulating box, and this has 3 regulators and 2 inputs, 3 outputs and 2 inputs. So basically, these 2 right here will control the size of the cloud and the air pressure behind it and the powder in the cloud. And then the 3rd regulator will control the fluidization in the bottom of the hopper. So basically how that works, and the following clips after this will be an actual demonstration of the kit performing on the RC1 and the RC2, as well as how to set up the system with actual powder and air in it. So what you do is this is called a pump, and this goes on top of the hopper, and you will connect the pump to the regulator box with this orange and black hose right here, and those will go to the front and to the top of the pump, and the pump will then go in here, and that is how you control the powder cloud. The clear hose, one of the clear hoses, will go from the 3rd regulator to the bottom, and that will control the fluidization in the hopper, and that one requires a constant airflow. That way it's not surging every time you pull the trigger. So that's what this hose is for. It will go into the back and to a constant air line, and I'll also get into that in just a second. But this is all included. It will come with the powder hose spring. So basically you'll just slip this over the powder hose and it'll go onto the pump, and that'll keep it just from kind of pinching and wearing prematurely. And then the last thing included is the grounded powder hose, which it is 12 foot long, so you have a little bit of reach. It's the same length as the gun cable itself. So some of the optional accessories are the hopper holder. It has a nice little groove on the side, so your fitting doesn't catch up and you can still access it. These are held onto your booth by pretty strong magnets. If you don't have a metal booth, you can mount a piece of metal in your booth and attach it like that. I've seen several people do that. I've also seen several people design their own, because we know y'all are all crafty and handy and like to do your own thing. Another thing is the powder hose clips. These will keep the gun cord and the powder hose a little bit more organized when you're spraying, so you don't have 2 cables flopping around. Next thing is the RC powder hose adapter. This will work on the RC1 and the RC2. The reason this is an optional accessory is because I know there's a lot of y'all that probably already have the regular style hopper kits, and you may already have this piece, so you might not need it again. The last thing is the T-splice. This is a plug-and-play fitting that goes on the back of your control box, and that is what the other clear hose is for. This comes with the kit regardless if you purchase the T-splice or not, in case you already have some sort of manifold for your air nozzles, air blowguns, whatever you might have near your powder booth. But basically you just plug this into here, and then this in the back of the box, and then you'll have your air line go through to your powder coat system. So this basically just keeps the constant pressure to your fluidizer on the bottom of the hopper. So that is pretty much it for what comes with the system. Like I said, these are additional accessories that are in the drop down menus, and this is everything that is included with the kit. This is everything that you need, besides you'll need some type of constant air pressure to be able to control the fluidization inside the hopper. But now let's go ahead and get into some how-to setups and some real-world demonstrations. Okay, so we're looking at the back of the fluidizing kit right here, and then this is the RC2. This will be pretty similar between the RC1 and the RC2 and other systems that are on the market. So basically the first thing you're going to do is connect this T-splice right here. This is basically a direct plug and play setup to be able to run the fluidized hopper. So you connect it there, and then you will take this short air line that's also included, and you'll put it here. And then this is the fluidized bed inlet. And then next what you're going to do is you're going to take the air pressure line that comes out of the back right here. This is the one that you'll normally plug into the cup or other hopper kits that you might be using, and it will go in the powder cloud inlet. So I don't know if you can see these icons here. I'll kind of get a close-up so you can see where they need to go. And then once you have those set, you'll put your airline here, and then we will move to the front of the box and the fluidizing hopper, and we'll go over the next steps. Okay, so if you're using this setup on an RC1, it is almost the same, except you're going to plug in your regulator to the back or however you have it mounted, and then you will take the T-splice or T-fitting and plug it behind that. The reason for this is so you can control your powder cloud without adjusting any of these knobs over here. You can just control it with the main air without adjusting the fluidization, and that's pretty much going to have you good to go on the RC1. It's relatively the same, just you're going to have this in between the T-fitting and the box. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the front side of the fluidizing kit. This outlet right here is the fluidized bed, which will go to the bottom of the hopper. This one is the air pressure behind the cloud, and this is the powder in the cloud. And I will show you how to hook these up to the pump. This right here is the hopper pump, and this is the venturi. This goes in between your powder hose and the pump. Your powder hose will come with another piece that is on my powder hose now, and it will thread on right here. So let's go ahead and hook this up. We're going to start left to right. And you'll put the clear hose in here, the one that goes to the bottom of the fluidizing hopper. You'll go ahead and put the black hose in the middle and the orange hose on the right. So we'll take the clear hose and you'll put it in the bottom of the hopper, and we'll grab our pump and put the black hose on the front inlet and the orange hose on the back inlet. So now we're ready to go. This will go into the lid. The lid will obviously go on here, and I will show you all how to set this up now. Okay, so one of the most important things is getting your fluidization set correctly. Not enough obviously won't fluidize the powder properly, and too much can cause it to fill up your hose when you're not using it, and it can cause surges and things like that. So you'll want to turn this dial real slowly until you start to see a little bit of movement inside here. And I'm using clear for this demonstration. Different powders will fluidize differently, and I have it about half full because usually the clear will raise up pretty high. So we'll turn this real slow, and you'll see a little bit of movement. We'll back off just a hair, because if you keep doing it too much, it can cause a surge out, and sometimes it does still happen. So it's something to just be cautious of. You can't give it a couple taps to kind of get it started, and it surged. You can also put the hopper down in there and kind of give it a stir, or if you had a stir stick, something like that would work too. So we'll go ahead and idle this up just a little bit more. Little adjustments are a lot on this. So we'll go ahead and just give it a little stir. And we'll adjust it a little bit more. So you can see it start to raise, and just because it's coming out now, that's okay. Once it finally gets to its final fluidization, it'll settle a little bit, and that's where we'll need to be. So you can see how high it did come up. You really don't want to be much higher than that, because then you risk it coming out of the pump. We'll let that sit for a second, kind of settle itself. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. You kind of see that it almost acts like a liquid in here when you stir it, and that's exactly what you want. You want the powder to be nice and fluffy in there, and that'll help it spray out nicely. So the next thing you want to do is go ahead and put this lid on. screw it down. It doesn't have to be super tight, just snug. And we'll let it sit for a second, and we'll put the pump on here in a second. You want to make sure no powder is coming out of the powder tube. If you have powder coming out of the powder tube, you want to back off a little bit, because that means it's going to be getting into your powder hose and building up like I just talked about a little bit. Okay, so it looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and put the pump on. And you want to be careful not to block either of these outlets right here. If you do, it can cause it to surge out and blow. This is an exhaust. You do not want to block this off. Every now and then powder will come out of here, and that is okay. You can point it in a direction that either goes towards your booth filters or out of the way, or you can even put a little bit of hose like this clear hose on it right here and kind of direct it, you know, away from your parts if you're worried about that at all. So no powder is coming out of the pump. I'm happy with this. We will go ahead and put the hose on. And this has a groove, so it's made to line up. On here, it will only go one way. So we got that lined up. Oh. We got that lined up. We'll screw it on. You want this nice and snug so it doesn't leak. And be careful, like I said, do not plug this up because it will shoot powder through your hose and fill it up, and then you just kind of want to blow it out. But all the kits do come with this spring right here. This is to just kind of keep the hose from kind of creasing or kinking if you have it mounted up high like I do. This is the Fluidized hopper holder. This is sold separately just because some people build their own, some people don't care to use this, and you know, whatever else they choose. So now we're gonna go ahead and get this dialed in, and I'll go ahead and get the camera set up. I don't know if I might move them, but we'll get this dialed in on the cloud, and I'll show you how I do that. Okay, so now you've gotten a chance to see how the fluidizing kit is set up and how the system actually performs in the real world. In my opinion, they spray very well. The cloud is super consistent. You can dial it in exactly how you want. Less powder, less air, more air, and a combination in between. With that being said, I would recommend using a little bit less or a little bit more inexpensive powder, just because you will waste a pound or two trying to get it dialed in. You may get it quicker than that, but I would go ahead and plan on kind of spraying a pound or two through it until you get it dialed in exactly how you like. If you're going to use it on a job right away, maybe order an extra pound or two for that specific job. But, you know, you saw me set it up. They're not that hard. Just follow the guidelines that I did in the video, and you'll be okay. But all in all, the consistency of the cloud, it's going to help with the metallics laying more even. It's going to help your finish lay down smoother. It's going to help lay in the Faraday areas. It's going to help with the multi-coats. Just all in all, it's going to be a whole lot. It's going to be a game changer in your powder coating setup. This is a great option for those of you who have been spraying with the RC1 or RC2 for a while and are ready to upgrade to something. This is a great option to not have to go spend thousands on a new gun. You can upgrade significantly with this system. You can also purchase this at the time of the system if you want to jump into that right away. They do perform, in my opinion, very well. I've been spraying with this for a few months now. I've had no issues, no complaints. The results have been amazing, in my opinion. So if you have any more questions, or if I missed anything that or something wasn't clear, feel free to leave a comment below or shoot me an email at royalpowdercoats@gmail.com. I will also post a direct link to this kit in the description below, so you can click on it and go straight there. That's going to pretty much conclude this video. Like I said, if you have any comments, questions, or anything like that, go ahead and hit me with them. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.